Welcome in everyone to another casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're going to be watching two Conqueror 3 players on the map Gorge. Over here on the left side of the map, we're going to see VES Myriad as the Ottomans. And on the right side of the map, we are going to see a Japanese player play as the Golden Horde. The Golden Horde starting out with that Uvu and the Golden Tent immediately. Very standard opening. And over here on this side, VES Myriad is collecting stone really fast for that first military school. The military school for the Ottomans is, of course, going to produce those free units over time. Now, I am really excited for this game today because I absolutely love both of these civilizations. The Golden Horde and the Ottomans are insanely fun civilizations, in my opinion. I have played them both, and I love piloting both of these civilizations, so I wanted to see how they did in a matchup against each other. Over here, VES Myriad just working on scouting out the Golden Horde's base. This tent is up, and I am curious which age up they're going to go with. Now, the reason they get this Uvu immediately is because you can produce Khan and Tar goods out of the Golden Tent, but it does require stone. So the Tar goods are an insanely good cavalry unit. You can only get one Khan out at a time. You can only get one Khan out at a time, but you can just keep producing Tar goods here. And they are incredibly powerful. So once they get to the feudal age, they will start producing some of those Tar goods, I assume. I assume that's what we're going to see today. And the Ottomans player, VES Myriad, building a barracks in the Dark Age after the military school. This is interesting. I wonder if they're just going to go for a Dark Age rush here. They don't have any villagers on gold just yet, so it doesn't look like they're going for that feudal age up. And so I'm very curious how this Dark Age rush from the Ottomans is going to play out. I know players usually always send those first free spears out of the military school over to harass the gold, but it's been a minute since I've seen a barracks go down in the Dark Age as well. So we are getting double spear production now. Military school and barracks are both producing spears. This is going to chew up a lot of Myriad's food for getting into the feudal age. And I want to catch the feudal age up over here on the Golden Horde side as well. Spears are making their way across the map. They're in the middle of the map now, just passing by this sacred site. The scout making its way around the map, getting some sheep. Looks like VES Myriad is ahead by one sheep today. So let's see how this push goes. I really want to see what Myriad is doing here, because this is a pretty cool push. I assume they're just going to go over here and try to delay gold production as much as possible. The Golden Horde player seemingly has not spotted this just yet. They should have gotten the notification by now. I think they are just going to wait until they absolutely need to move those units back, which I guess now is the time, now that 3 spears are here in total. And these spears now, I bet, are going to go over here and harass this Uvu. The stone production, again, is absolutely required. They are going with the building carts age up. So there's another age up that reduces the cost of Khan and Tar goods, but they are not doing that. They're getting the building carts. And what's really nice about these building carts is you get one for each age up as well. So if not only do you get 2 in the feudal age, but you also get another cart in the castle age, which means you can just place a monastery down immediately and start building religious units for those relics. And VES Myriad wants to shut down this stone production to make sure those Khans and Tar goods are much more difficult to get. Over here on the Golden Horde side, I'm not seeing much military production yet, but this makes sense. This is a really early rush here from VES Myriad, who has now also begun to age up into the feudal age and immediately drops that away. The Twin Minaret is going to produce a little bit of free food for them in the form of berry bushes. Also work as a drop-off location. Okay, we are getting a fortress down now. Fortified outpost. Not a fortress, a fortified outpost down for the Golden Horde to help protect this gold a little bit. And it does look like this Uvu is going to fall. This is going to hurt our Golden Horde player a lot. They absolutely need that stone to get their Tar goods in play. And so I do think that this Uvu is going to fall just because we haven't seen any military production go down. That age up has been completed for the Golden Horde. Let's see what buildings they put down. It looks like they are going to put down some military production buildings here. A barracks and an archery range. And another unique ability to Golden Horde that Uvu did fall. So now our Golden Horde player is not getting any stone, but they are going to place another one over here. And just as they go to place this other Uvu, the scout spots it. So now VES Myriad is going to know exactly where to deny this extra stone production over here. And what I was going to say earlier is Golden Horde does actually have access to the stables in the Dark Age, but because Myriad was building those spears, I think they understood that that would be a poor decision. I think a barracks, and we did get that first con unit out. Very good cavalry unit. Are we going to be seeing some Targoods? Surely we're going to be seeing some Targoods out of the Golden Horde player today. And it looks like our Ottoman's player did just get their Vizier points. And is also placing a stable down as well. So maybe they spotted out the archery range on this other side and decided to build that counter. They did. They have seen that archery range. So they are now building those counters to that archery range while also putting an archery range of their own down. Has this moved over? They are getting just some spears over here protecting these units, and the imams, the early religious units for the Ottoman's player, just protecting that gold right there. Keeping an eye out. VES Myriad has gotten a really good group of spears together for how early in the game that it is. And looking up top, it doesn't look like either player is going for Castle Age yet. Nobody's gonna do a fast castle. This scout finding this Uvu is so good for Myriad. Now, this is going to shut down a second Uvu. It does look like the Golden Horde got that other Uvu down, but what is happening here is VES Myriad is just burning up the wood that it required to place these. And so now our Golden Horde player is absolutely behind because they did lose one Uvu. These spears are going to be chased out of the area, though, by the archers and the Khan. That Khan is going to be in a lot of danger, in my opinion. One spear does fall, some really good micro over here from the Golden Horde player with these archers, but now they are in range of those spears, and they are going to be in danger. They are doing a ton of damage, though. Just these two archers versus the 6 spears, and they took one down. Great play there. And the Sipahi are rolling out for the Ottoman's player, an incredibly strong cavalry unit that they are probably producing for free out of the military school. Yes, they are. The Sipahi are incredible. Blacksmith has gone down for VES Myriad, and I assume those upgrades are going to start rolling out. We did get a stockyard already from the Golden Horde player, a really, really strong food production, unique food production building there that houses sheep that the villagers can farm endlessly. And it does look like the second Uvu is going to fall. This is going to be a problem for the Targood production, absolutely. And I don't even think we've seen Targood out of the Golden Horde yet. You can also buy technologies with stone as well, unique technologies for the Golden Horde with stone. So overall, stone is just very, very important to the Golden Horde, and VES Myriad so far has done an incredible job of just shutting down that stone production, and it's going to be really hard for the Golden Horde player to recover. They do have one here, but in Feudal Age, they absolutely want to have both 2 of those Uvus down. You get access to more Uvus as you age up with the Golden Horde. A little bit of a military forming outside of the Golden Horde base. VES Myriad is amassing those Sipahi and spears. We're also seeing some archers join the party as well. And back at base, let's see if anybody is going for castle. Everybody's very low on resources. Actually, the Golden Horde has almost enough gold, but is nowhere near the food requirement for Castle Age just yet. VES Myriad moving into attack as that Uvu goes down again. The Sipahi look like they're doing some pretty good damage, and VES Myriad was actually able to surround the Ottoman's player here very briefly before they retreated. The Ottoman's player is in full retreat now. And now VES Myriad is trying to burn down this Uvu again. If they do get this Uvu, this will be the 3rd Uvu that they have shut down. VES Myriad just absolutely fully dedicated to making sure that this Golden Horde player cannot produce any stone to help them with their technologies or unit production. And this is just absolutely devastating. Also, all of these units are being healed by the early religious units from Ottoman's player. Very, very, very strong army right now. The Sipahi and the early heals is just brutal for this Golden Horde player. And VES Myriad just fully taking a incredibly strong lead in this game, just absolutely dominating this early game right now. We have not seen any Targud join the party. I am really surprised by this, just because I think they help a lot against those Sipahi. Maybe Golden Horde player just wants to build a ton of spears right now, or maybe they're deciding not to build it because there is spears over here. But now we can see that VES Myriad is actually amassing a lot of archers, so I do think that those Targud would be really, really strong here. This scout for VES Myriad does spot this army over here just looking around, and it looks like they're scouting for a good place to attack. The Sipahi running in, but immediately being chased out by the military from our Golden Horde player. And neither player still has enough resources for that castle age up. Another stockyard going down. Incredible food production for the Golden Horde. It's absolutely insane food production on those stockyards. And back here at the Ottoman's base, we have gotten 2 more military schools down for a total of 3. Let's check and see what they're all on. They are all just on Sipahi, of course. Sipahi are just so strong. They're such a good unit. And we're also seeing a ton of archers join this party. It looks like the spear production has slowed down a lot. The Keshiks are now rolling out for the Golden Horde. The Keshiks are a really good cavalry unit. I do like those units as well. I was very surprised we haven't seen those Targuds yet. I was talking them up so much at the beginning of the game, I'm kind of sad that we haven't seen them yet. But we do have that unique con unit on the battlefield. VES Myriad just gathering their military out here outside of this sacred site, making sure that nobody can take that sacred site, even though nobody is in Castle Age just yet. Now they're moving the military in to attack. I think they want to attack this gold here. If they can get some villager kills on this gold, that would be really, really good. But all of those villagers were able to garrison very, very quickly, and this military does have to retreat away from that fortress. Another path to attack would be back here. All of this this tree line back here does look like it is pretty unprotected at the moment and would potentially be a great place to attack for the Ottomans. The food expansion for the Ottomans is also going really well. They're out here on deer, getting a lot of food. And one single Sipahi does run into the back of the base and gets taken out by the Golden Horde. We are getting a castle age up, the Imperial Armory. This is another free unit production building. This builds free siege units, which is really, really strong. More military buildings going down for the Ottoman player as well. Another stable and another archery range. Just absolutely mass-producing military, and I'm very surprised at how late this castle age up is. Both players did just fully dedicate to getting units out in feudal age, but they both have really strong armies now. They're just not wanting to fight just yet. Biding their time, waiting for the castle age up for Myriad, while the Golden Horde, I think, is also going for castle age up now. They do have 800 food and have moved a ton of villagers over here to that gold, putting down a second fortified outpost to protect that gold vein. I am kind of surprised we haven't got like a fortified outpost over here. We are getting another stockyard down, several stockyards down so far for the Golden Horde player. A group of Keshik look like they're trying to move their way into the back of Myriad's base, but unfortunately for our Golden Horde player, Myriad spotted this instantly and is now chasing them down with their Sipahi. I do want to see these Keshik and Sipahi clash, though, and see who comes out on top. Because the Golden Horde is so far into Myriad's base, I think this fight is going to favor the Sipahi at the moment. Especially with these town centers doing so much damage. Especially with the town center dealing damage here. The Golden Horde player feeling the same way, it looks like, and deciding to pull their units out of this attack. While up here, Myriad is in full attack on the gold for the Golden Horde player. But does have to retreat because the archers have amassed for the Golden Horde to a really, really good level. Now these archers are having to retreat for Myriad. These Sipahi are still running away from all of the These Keshik are still running away from all of the Sipahi, and more Sipahi are going to run up here to try and take them out. One does fall. That was the Khan unit. The unique Khan unit does fall. And it looks like Myriad found another Uvu. No, this is so bad for the Golden Horde. They just have not been able to produce any... Well, they are producing some stone, but Myriad has shut it down so often that I don't think their stone production is anywhere near where it needs to be for this Golden Horde player. We're seeing that right now Myriad is just collecting the relics without putting them into a monastery yet. That is really funny. Just making sure those relics are all in their base while also fully attacking this fortified outpost over the gold. Now we can see that Myriad is fully dedicating to this fight. The spears are doing a lot of work for the Golden Horde player, though, but these Sipahi have been able to get around back and to start dealing damage to the archers, and this is going to be really devastating. Now that these Sipahi can just fully attack those archers in the back, this is going to be an absolutely terrible fight for our Golden Horde player, who is now just getting overrun by Sipahi. Maybe more spears would have been the answer here, but honestly, we can see Myriad just has so many archers that it's an absolutely rough fight. Back here, the Keshik are actually getting some work in, though. The Keshik are going to be really good against all these archers, but I think that Myriad just has outnumbered our Golden Horde player so significantly here. And down at the bottom, we can see that honestly, Myriad is actually 1,000 resources behind our Golden Horde player. So I'm very surprised at how much better their military is here. We can look up at the top of the upgrades. The upgrades are almost even. The only difference is that Myriad does have one more ranged armor. Just one more ranged armor, and that was an absolutely devastating fight for the Golden Horde there. We can see that Myriad was able to get 8 villager kills. And that's going to be a really good lead in villager kills in the long run because they produce in batches and they're slower. So, and they cost 100 food to produce 2 villagers over there for the Golden Horde. These units on gold are in extreme danger again as Myriad pushes in to the base for a second time. These fortified outposts are doing a lot of work, though, in defending this area as the Golden Horde pushes out and tries to get this military off of their land. This military doing a ton of work here for the Golden Horde player, but I think they have been outnumbered. I think this is a pretty rough attack. I think they might need to retreat here after chasing them out of the area of the fortified outpost, and they're not retreating. They just let so many units die there. I think keeping those units within the range of the fortified outpost was the play there, and keeping them alive as long as possible, I think, was absolutely vital. And as we can see, it looks like Myriad has captured 2 of the 3 sacred sites. Only one more sacred site to go until Myriad gets that victory on the clock. And we're just seeing... And back here, Golden Horde player is just trying to recover from all those attacks. Myriad has just been relentless in this game. Absolutely relentless, not letting our Golden Horde player breathe for a moment. And so many military production buildings over here on this side. Now the monasteries have gone down, and we see that Myriad does have 4 of the 5 relics so far. And they might be collecting one more. We can see that our Golden Horde player has 0 relics at the moment. Veteran Keshik rolling out. I'm just shocked we haven't seen Targu in this game. They have been getting those unique upgrades to their food production, though. We can see that their stockyards has been upgraded, which is also very strong. But up at the top, we can see that Myriad does have 44 military units to the Golden Horde's 15. This is going to be absolutely devastating. And now the Rams are rolling out, and these Rams are just going to do an insane amount of damage to these fortified outposts. I think the fortified outposts were really the only thing stopping Myriad from pushing in. But with these Rams here, it's going to be a bloodbath. Myriad has completely and totally overwhelmed our Golden Horde player in units right now, and is fully pushing in to this base, and is probably going to start working on tearing down these fortified outposts, and that is exactly what they're doing, fully, completely, and totally denying gold here for the Golden Horde. And the Golden Horde cannot be a Golden Horde without their gold. A small military forming back here for the Golden Horde player, but they are still so outnumbered. They have at least gotten up to almost 30 units in their military. But this military over here for Myriad is just looking insanely strong. Especially with all the crossbows now in Myriad's military. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. Those Rams working on the third and final fortified outpost as a little skirmish in the alleyways of these military buildings is taking place. Myriad repositioning the troops to get a better angle on this fight. The archers in the back for the Ottomans player seem to be doing a ton of work, and the crossbows for the Ottomans player are just doing so much work here that now the cavalry has completely and totally decimated the cavalry for the Golden Horde. And they are just fully in control of the front of this base now. No more gold production for the Golden Horde, and all of the archers are being absolutely run down by the Sipahi, and our Golden Horde player calls it with the GG. VES Myriad won this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see each and every one of you in the next video. Bye!
They can kill that